Welcome back everybody to Game 3 of the Raidcall Dota 2 League Season 2 match between EG and Dignitas. And it has come down to the wire. Again, if you want an alternative version of this cast, check out youtube.com/myegnet or twitch.tv/OneMoreGameTV2. And this is what we've been waiting for, a clash of North American teams. For the most part, very well played Dota. Two North America's strongest, although EG has been slipping, but they really want to get back in shape, I'm sure, because there are a lot of tournaments happening very, very soon. And I'm sure EG wants to get participate in as many tournaments as possible. Meanwhile, Dignitas, winners bracket defense 3, have been playing pretty much every tournament they can possibly participate in, and they are very dedicated as they scrim a lot, they play Dota a lot, and the results are paying off. But now this matchup actually is pretty significant because I think both these teams are in the top 5 at the very least of the Raidcall Dota 2 League standings, and both teams want to get in the playoffs because if you don't get in the playoffs, you don't get that money. But Dignitas don't have the first pick. They're going to bat the Wisp, and EG going to bat the Puck. Interesting. They saw, I think Fogged was definitely the MVP of the Puck in the last game as he just played absolutely out of his mind. And actually interesting, Demon's going to be drafting. And usually when somebody's a drafter, they are going to be the drafter. Or if somebody's playing the captain slot, they're going to be the drafter, if not the in-game captain. But yeah, Demon's going to be drafting. I wonder how this will shape up, as maybe Demon has some different ideas on how to play against Dignitas. Dignitas do like to play a little bit turtly, like to protect AUI, but the last game they played pretty solidly, and definitely Fogged was the MVP of that game. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Demon's necessarily found a weakness of Dignitas that he can exploit, but I guess we'll find out very, very soon. But the fact that he's banned out Puck means that there's a lot of very powerful heroes left in the pool. Barrader, Magnus, Nyx, they're going to get rid of Barrader, so I think Dignitas is probably going to bat the Nyx right here. Keep in mind, Keeper of the Light is still left in the pool, so yeah, a lot of really strong heroes left in the pool that both teams will probably get their hands on very, very quickly. And I'm not going to lie, these are probably two of my favorite teams, or two of my favorite teams in the scene at the moment, both being American. Met Dignitas, and I've always been a Melk. I've been a fan of those old school players like Melk, and so these are probably two of my favorite teams. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult to see who's gonna fall in this series, but whoever it is, put up a really strong fight nonetheless. As Dignitas came out the Nyx, so EG probably gonna pick up something like the Darkseer or the Keeper of the Light, but they don't actually like to run Keeper of the Light. They hate playing against it, but I don't think they actually run Keeper of the Light, so yeah. I don't know what EG... They're gonna pick up Magnus or Darkseer, right? Unless they have some crazy demon pick. I'm not too sure, but usually the first pick you don't want to go too crazy.
5 seconds
As Demon gonna take down a bit of the reserve time right here. Maybe discussing the picks, maybe discussing the strategy. But he's actually taking a decent amount of time, as he is not the captain usually. It's Fear doing the drafting, and when Fear doesn't draft, Melk drafts. And Demon, I think, is like third on the list in terms of drafters, but maybe since Ishii have been struggling a bit in terms of winning series, they're going to have Demon try out a draft and see if that helps them out, and maybe if it works out, they'll be seeing more Demon drafts in the future. And Ishii going to pick up the Chaos Knight. What? Chaos Knight is not first pick material these days. He's a first 2-pick material when you can get him in succession with a Wisp. But other than Wisp Chaos Knight is not usually seen ever. Like, he's seen sometimes, but he's not really the best safe lane farmer, and he's only really good dual mid with something like a Wisp, so I'm not too sure what EG's plans are. I guess this is just Demon being Demon. As Dignitas is probably going to pick up the Keeper right now, because this is one of their favorite supports. I mean, pretty much every support is Dignitas' favorite support. Keeper, Wisp, Nyx, all really, really powerful heroes for the side of Dignitas. They also like to play the Bane Elemental quite a bit. So Dignitas, I think they have in mind they're going to pick up the Coddle, but they might just be a bit confused on what EG's actually going to do. And I'm a bit confused as well on what EG's actually going to do. As Dignitas going to take this time, weigh it out. It's got to be Coddle, right? Coddle seems like the only appropriate response here. It's going to be Coddle Gyrocopter. Again, versatile picks. Doesn't really give away too much of the strategy. But Dignitas don't really like to run support Gyrocopter too much. Actually, they run it a decent amount. I think Universe handles that if he has to. But usually Fogged plays the mid-solo Gyrocopter, or AI plays the safe lane farmer for Gyrocopter, so Yeah, Gyrocopter, one of those heroes who definitely doesn't give away too much of Dignitas' strategy, but I don't think EG cares about Dignitas' strategy. They just care about their own strategy, as they're going to tick through the reserve time. Or at least, not EG, just Demon in general doesn't care about Dig's strategy. They're just going to ban out whoever they feel like they don't like playing against for the most part. I mean, if this was fear drafting, I think you'd have a lot more sort of, this will be what Dignitas is doing, and we're going to see a Tide being picked up by EG. Gonna give them a lot of teamfight control. Usually Beaters plays support Tide Hunter when EG does go for it. And they're gonna pick up a Chen as well. Could this be the makings of a safe tri-lane? As Chen for Milk played pretty well for the most part in the last game, but still, there's a certain point where Chen actually doesn't really contribute that much. Right around the 40-minute mark, Chen is really just not that useful. The creeps die. The Hand of God has such a long cooldown unless you pick up a ridiculously fast Aghanim's. And if you pick up ridiculously fast Aghanim's, then you pretty much already won the game at that point anyway.
10 seconds remaining.
So EG's going to go for an early mid-game strat, and they're going to try to see what Dignitas is going to do about it, and it's going to be difficult because they're pushing into a Keeper of the Light. So I'm not too sure if the strategy actually will work out. One of the good things about having Chen against Keeper of the Light is that the creeps get bonus HP if you are converting them, so they can actually survive a couple of the blasts, but keep in mind, Gyrocopter has a flat can as well, and the cooldown, so actually will be ridiculously difficult to push in Dignitas, even with the tanky creeps by Chen. Although Tide Hunter is one of those heroes who can sort of wrap around the tower, charge in with the Ravage, and really just disrupt the positioning of Dignitas. So I'm not too sure if this Tide was a response pick to Keeper of the Light, but still, a lot of anti-Keeper of the Light technology is in play, and Dignitas is going to pick up the Shadow Demon. So it is most likely going to be a mid lane or a safe lane Gyrocopter, with Shadow Demon and Keeper of the Light playing the primary supports by Dignitas. And EG going to battle the Queen of Pain right here. Maybe they have some sort of mid lane hero in mind that does not do that well against Queen of Pain. Maybe a melee hero like Beastmaster. Although Beastmaster does better than most melee heroes against Queen of Pain. But yeah, gonna battle Queen of Pain, saying, Fogged, you are not going to be playing Queen of Pain in this game. Maybe they just really don't want to face too many creep clearing abilities like the Scream of Pain. And Queen of Pain's mobility definitely makes it a lot more difficult for heroes like Tide Hunter and Chaos Knight to lock him down, especially Chaos Knight, considering there's no Wisp in place. So, Queen of Pain ban makes a lot more sense when you think about it that way.
Reserve time.
Meanwhile, Dignitas go about the Warlock. They saw Jo played Warlock, and they see EG does not have a really strong mid-soul at the moment. And they see that they don't really have a mid-soul that can beat Warlock. I mean, they could put Gyro mid, but still. Yeah, I think Gyro does beat Warlock mid, because he has AoE creep clearing ability, and can attack from range with a flat hand, but still. Warlock can take a lot of the damage, and do some... He'll be able to at least last and deny reasonably effectively against a Gyrocopter, but I guess they really just... I think they see that EG has the first pickup after the second ban phase, and they see EG doesn't have a good solo mid, so they think Warlock could be an option.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, EG trying to think of whatever heroes they despise playing against. They could bounce something like the Phantom Lancer, considering they don't have Shadow Demon on their own side. They could bounce the Darkseer as well. Darkseer not being picked up just yet. And Magnuses seems to be all but forgotten at this point. And EG gonna mount the Lifestealer. AUI does play a decent Lifestealer. I think he's more known to farm a bit more on his heroes, that's why you see him more on the Tiny, the Phantom Lights, or the Void. But I'm sure he plays Lifestealer at a very high level. I just have not seen it, because I have not seen AUI play Lifestealer in a bit. I don't know if it's necessarily one of Dignitas' go-to heroes. But I think this is more of just a Tide Hunter protective measure, because they just really want to maximize the usage of Ravage, and Magical Immunity is one of the ways to bypass through that Ravage. Chaos Knight does get beaten down by Lifesteal pretty hard because he's, again, magically immune to Chaos Bolt, and he can just Lifesteal through Chaos Knight's damage. Meanwhile, Dignitas going about the Darkseer. I think they're thinking that EG are going to run this defensive trial and have Chen jungle, Tide Chaos Knight bottom lane, and Tide Chaos Knight isn't really the best lane because they're both melee, and even though they have a decent amount of slow and stun potential, once their mana's drained, they really can't refuel it that quickly. So whatever offlane Dignitas puts in place should be able to do decently if it is in fact a Chaos Knight Tide Hunter safe lane combination. And EG gonna have the PL, so no Keeper Light Phantom Lancer. I guess even though they're going for early mid-game strategy, they just really want to have some sort of insurance in the late game, and right now their picks are not suited for Phantom because they don't have anything like a Gyrocopter. There's no Darkseer. Pretty much all the Phantom quote-unquote counters have been removed from the pool entirely. And Dignitas coming back the Tinker. Interesting. We're going to see an AA by EG. Wow, this is really, really cool. Because AA, I feel like, is one of those supports who is really underrated. Chilling Touch, of course, very, very strong spell. But Cold Feet and Ice Blast pretty much makes him viable single-handedly. And I think we're going to see a Chaos Knight AA mid. And this is a combination we did see in the past previously. I think before Wisp really caught on to the Chaos Knight craze. We saw Chaos Knight AA mid. And Reality Roach into Cold Feet is a long duration stun. Longer duration than the Wisp Tether.
5 seconds remaining.
So whoever goes up mid against the AA Chaos Knight will just get decimated. So I guess we'll find out very soon if EG is going to pick a safe lane for how AA will function. As right now, they could just do off-lane Tidehunter. And I'm going to pick up Lycan. EG Demon. With these unconventional picks. Dignitas on the end picked up Alk. Maybe they're just trying to sort of counteract EG's Xanius by picking up Alk themselves, but still. Alk, very powerful hero. People are saying stun makes Alchemist really, really insanely broken. Because it's a 4-second stun when it's maxed, and it's such a short cooldown. And yeah, it's really, really good. And you can stack camps for Alchemists, you can clear them very quickly with Acid Spray and Goblin's Greed, or Grievel's Greed, or whatever the heck it's called. And the Rage makes him a beastly tank, but AA against Alk, not too sure, because Alk does survive on his... does really like to use his regen to survive. And of course AA's Ice Blast negates all healing and regen possibilities, and that of course means that Dignitas can't really go for an early game mech.
10 seconds remaining.
So EG, they're gonna try to win the game in the first 25 minutes, or they will lose because they have all the mechanisms in place. They have Lycanthrope push, they have AA counteracting mech, and Dignitas gonna pick up Lone Druid. Dignitas going super greedy. So if Coddle dies, their push is pretty much, or their defense is pretty much screwed. I mean, they have Acid Spray as well as Flat Cannon and Shadow Poison. So actually they have decent defending mechanisms in place, but still. Some crazy picks being picked up by Demon and Dignitas. I don't know if they're ready for it. Because this mid-game lineup is actually ridiculously strong. And Ice Blast, I think people have forgotten how good of a spell it actually is. It does a lot of damage, it's global, short cooldown, 45 seconds, and it stops healing. So no mech for you, Coddle, and a lot of your regen Alchemist goes out the window. And if you pick up Armlet, good luck. And we're gonna see Fear handling the Lycanthrope. So I guess it's gonna be Melk, Fear bottom lane, AA Chaos Knight mid, and Demon top for EG.
5 seconds.
We'll see how well Demon can handle a tri-lane of Alk, Shadow Demon, and Keeper, as I forgot to turn off the direct camera yet again. But still, so far, really, really fascinating picks. I'm pretty excited for this game, as they're going to see interesting players. Teams are going to have Demon playing the Tidehunter, Jaos playing the Chaos Knight, Fear is handling that Lycanthrope, Melk is playing the Chen, and Beatus is playing the AA. Meanwhile, on the side of Dignitas are going to have Fogged playing the Gyrocopter. Tides of Time is... What? Tides of Time is playing the Alchemist. Okay. AUI is playing the Bear, the Lone Druid. And Universe is handling the Keep the Light, and Way Too Sexy is playing the Shadow Demon. So it's going to be an aggressive Shadow Alchemist. Because Tides of Time is playing it. Tides of Time usually plays support for Dignitas. Usually, if it comes down to a third carry, I think Universe usually handles it. But still... I guess they trust Universe's Keeper of the Light a little bit more, and like Way Too on the Shadow Demon. But other than that, I'm not too sure, as imagine Dignitas going to ward off the jungle very, very heavily against Chen and Lycan. And you can see they actually have 4 wards in place. Meanwhile, EG just camping the cliff. I imagine A is going to go mid. He picked up his Smoke of Deceit, already placing 1 ward. Spy movement of Dignitas saying nobody can go into our jungle for now. And Melk has some sentry wards to de-ward it up, possibly. But I gotta think that this camp will be blocked off by Dignitas. They still have 2 wards up in their Shadian. And yeah, they're gonna place this ward, I imagine, right now. Probably waiting for the 0-0 timer to go through. Yep, there it goes. So now this ward will expire at exactly the 6-minute mark. Meanwhile, the Wolves are scouting out the movement of Dignitas, as well as this very early on placed ward by the side of EG. And actually, if this is Tidehunter versus Solo Bear, no, we're going to see a Smoke to See already being used. Even though there wasn't really a ward in place, Fogged. might very well not know what hit him, as Gush, Kofi, Chaos Boil all gonna come in and destroy Fogged. And Demon's gonna migrate top, but as it is, Melk is actually jungling the offensive lane with Chen. Really not something you see too often, but I guess Demon and the side of EG just predicted that the jungle will be completely warded off against Lycan and Chen, and they're just gonna sack Fear completely. Just gonna say, Fear, good luck, buddy, against this aggressive Chen. What are you gonna do about this? We're gonna win every other lane.
Tower is under attack.
As Tyranitar finally gonna migrate his way top, and with Chen, I think Tyranitar and Chen can beat Bear. Because Tyranitar very difficult to kill. And with the DD rune, I don't know, because keep in mind Tyranitar 310 base movement speed, AUI has 315 base movement speed on his range form, but now he's just going to last hit deny most of the creeps, so bit of a lucky break for Demon getting that DD rune very early on, but he's going to make full advantage of it. As Chen going to just use the shockwave creep to just clear creeps as fast as possible. Keep in mind the shockwave creep, pretty strong nuke, and the fact that he can cast it 6 times is definitely a bonus, as the creep, or the bear, gonna be ushered away by the Chen, and you can see AY already playing very defensively. Actually just gonna pull this. I don't know if pulling this is the best idea, because Tyranitar now can just dive him, as he has a bottle with his first item. Oh, he picked up the first one, I forgot. As I think he probably went for the boots Tangos, but I don't know if Demon foresaw the aggressive try by the side of Dignitas, and Dignitas are just gonna push down this tower very, very quickly, I imagine, as the Wolves gonna try to usher away the creeps, but the Wolves would actually just die very, very quickly, as that's gonna be free experience for Alk and Coddle. And yeah, Coddle picks up that creep very, very easily, and oh, Demon. Keep in mind, the Anchor Smash is physical damage, so it actually just clears through the Mud Golem damage, and Demon's gonna actually pick up a lot of extra experience from this, despite the pull, so that is very unfortunate for AY. Meanwhile, a gank attempt for Fogged, Chilling Touch is actually used by the side of EG, and the Reality Rift into Cold V combination making waves yet again. Keep in mind, this is something that the Southeast Asians did quite a bit in Dota 1. They loved picking AA, and they picked Chaos Knight quite a bit. Although they didn't run it mid, they ran the safe lane quite a bit, and it's really difficult to match up against the safe lane. And the fact that it's mid, the fact that it's just one hero, means that Fogged pretty much can't really do anything. So Fogged is going to be out of the picture. So a lot of the pressure is coming down to Tides of Time, as he's just going to have to maximize his farm completely. And not really having the best farm at this point, using 1 point Acid Spray. No points the Greevil's Greed just yet, but he's only level 2, wants 1 point stun. And Acid Spray to clear on his creep wave, and they will pick off this tower. Meanwhile, Fear trying to jungle, but this camp is going to be blocked off for her. So Fear is going to be sacrificed at the cost of EG potentially winning every other lane, but AUI, despite him losing a bit of stack, is actually handling his top lane quite well, as he's not dying and he's getting a decent amount of farm and a decent amount of experience. And Chen is going to ban him, but that means Demon's going to wrap around. Keep in mind, Dignitas placed all their wards in jungle. They have, or Fogged has no vision of when Demon's ganking. And Chaos Knight picks up another kill. Fogged is just being shut down so hard, and this is difficult to see considering Fogged shut down EG pretty much single-handedly with this puck. So Jo gonna use the bottle, give it to the AA, use the AA to bottle the rune. If it spawns on the bottle lane, it does. And AA will make use of that double damage rune to do a bit more acid. Meanwhile, Way 2 is gonna rotate to the middle lane, saying, okay, Fear is gonna try to jungle it up. Again, Lycanthrope, not really a great jungler anymore because of the Wolves having so low HP, but Fear, once he picks up something like a Quelling Blade or Ring of Basilis, should be able to farm decently well if he has some Sentry Wards in place, but as it is, some of these camps are being blocked off. And meanwhile, there's going to be a rotation around by Demon. He is, what level is he? He's already level 5. Wow, 4.5 minutes game, already level 5 on the back of those 2 ganks, and Melk just going to take the lane for a bit, and they're going to kill the bear. 100 gold going into the pocket of Melk. Definitely going to help him pick up the mechanism. He does decide to go for it, as the bear is going to be used to usher away Demon, but Demon just going to bottle up. Demon very close to getting that level 6 up very, very soon, as the bear again trying to do a bit of harassment, trying to get the deny, unfortunately a little bit too late. And meanwhile, you can see on the middle lane, Fogged is just playing so scared. I mean, you have defensive disruption, but Cold Feet doesn't care about defensive disruption. It will tick in, no matter what. I mean, unless you're already stunned and then you cast defensive disruption, that's the only way you can counter Cold Feet with Shadow Demon. And Keep Light really can't do anything against Ancient Apparition. So I think A might be seen a bit more as a counter to Shadow Demon, potentially. That's just some theory crafting going on right there, but so far, EG seem to be doing decently. I mean, mid lane is completely there, so I think top lane for the most part is a wash, but Chen is farming so well, getting a lot of gold, has the boots, as we're going to see rotation around by the supports. Melk does have a Centaur creep, going to hit level 5 very, very soon, as once he gets that, he'll have the second creep up at a lot of HP at this point. He should be A-okay. And Fear with the Basilius will be out the jungle a bit more, has those that can tank for him a bit more because of that increased armor. And actually, you're going to see Demon wrap around, try and get in position. Does he have Ravage? We're going to see Jail rotate around. They're going to dive AUI, and AUI is not going to find this very amusing whatsoever. He never stood a chance as Illuminate is going to fly in. Meanwhile, Beat is in position. Tidehunter has the Ravage, so now you can see Dignitas forced to play super scared. Tides is going to rotate in with the Alchemist as Demon is going to cancel his Ravage. Here comes the Gush. AA is going to be cleaned up. You know, reality going to be enough to scare the keep flow away. Gush is cooling down very rapidly, but here comes some double teleports in. Shadow Demon's going to buy back this early on, and Fog picks up Invisibility Rune. Does he have Call Down just yet? He's going to, or Melk's going to send Jo home. Can Jo escape? Jo, can he escape? He does escape. Man, I think Fog overestimated, or maybe underestimated he either overestimated the Chen time, or he underestimated his damage output. But either way, Fogged is going to take a Gush right to the face. Here comes Ravage. It's going to catch both of the heroes. Chaos Bolt is going to fly down, going to finish off Fogged. Wave 2 will be protected by the lane for a little bit, but Demon is going to be slowed down as EG going to try to keep up the pursuit. Jay is going to bottle up. We'll get another stun. Nicely dodged, but now A is in place. He's going to use the Chilling Touch, going to give them so much extra damage. We'll clean up the kill on the Shouting, and Dignitas down 7-1 already. Look at this. 50 extra damage for 3 attacks. 150 extra damage by just level 1 of Chilling Touch. Very, very strong spell at this moment. Meanwhile, Fear was not a part of that engagement whatsoever. I imagine he was applying a bit of pressure. He did apply a bit of pressure to that bottom tier 1 as he's making his way towards the Vlads very, very quickly. We'll have it up in about 600 gold. Meanwhile, the Tides might be regretting the fact that he teleported to the top lane because as it is, AUI is getting no farm, and Jao is getting no farm. So I think Tides is just going to have to play very, very greedy, which might be just not in his nature. Alchemist is a very strong farmer, but Tides has been playing support quite a bit. So he is going to counter gain quite a bit with the teleport and the level 2 of the Unstable Concoction, but still, the question remains, can he actually do too much in the team fight at this stage in the game? It might just be better for him to just farm up and just abandon the ganks completely. As so far, everybody else on the side, Dignitas is not having too good of a time. You know, Melk very close to that mechanism already. Demon with the Arcane Boots. Fear, again, probably going to pick up the Vlads at around the 10-minute mark. And that means he can jungle so much more quickly. Lycanthrope, once he gets going, is still pretty much as difficult to stop as ever. He's a really strong pusher, really hard to kill with the ultimate online. Does a lot of damage. The Howl is still global. His early game is just really, really bad. But once you get past that, you should be okay, as AOI is going to take a Gush. As the phase boots, we'll just walk out of there. As EG not going to do anything in regards to the towers, just going to apply a lot of pressure to the Bear and the Gyrocopter. And it's working out, but still, it might be better for EG to push in the tower very, very soon. It's Lycanthrope very close to dying. Jao's going to take a little bit of homing missile harassment, but should be okay. As I think they're waiting for the Demon Ravage to come online. It will come online. And now EG are grouping up to push in. Melk does have the Hand of God as well as those 2 creeps. And keep in mind, look at these creeps soak up that Illuminate very easily. Keep in mind, keep it the light. Only level 4, so it doesn't even have level 3 of the Illuminate online just yet. Meanwhile, the Wolves going to wrap around. I think they're going to try to snipe a courier. May anticipate Alchemist picking up an item. Not too sure the Wolves will be in that position. No, Fear is going to join his team on the middle lane. He is level 6 as well. And he does have his ultimate, so I guess they anticipate taking a team fight or forcing team fight very, very soon, as we're going to see an engagement. Oh no, way too! Never stood a chance, as he is going to die very, very quickly, and that means Dignitas is going to not even contest this tower. And that means Ravage will be up, so they can push another tower if EG really wants to. And this is sort of the style that the LGD squad use. Pick up Tide and Chen, and it's bulldoze your way down with the Ravage and the Chen creeps, as AUI going to take a Ravage as well as a Chaos Bolt. He is going to die. as I'm not too sure why he's pushing down that tower with the bear. I guess Demon teleported in very defensively and the creeps did not see it because it is nighttime. But as it is, AUI will suffer the price of his pushing attempts. Only 43 CS at 10 minutes in the game. Decent farm, but for AUI standards, definitely not the best farm. Only with the phase boots, probably has just boots on his bear as well as an orb of venom. But so far, Dignitas looking very, very shaky. Mel gonna finish the mechanism very, very soon as that spray and the the unstable concoction being popped on Fear, but he has the Vlads now. And Tide's just gonna farm up, gonna go for the Relic or Shadow Blade. Usually these days, professional alchemists do go for the Shadow Blade. Gives him a lot more easy access to initiate with the unstable concoction, give him attack speed, which is definitely very beneficial for a hero like Alchemist who has such a low base attack time with his ultimate online. And of course can allow Alchemist to escape if he's split pushing.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But EG used the Ravage, so now it might be a bit more difficult for them to push in, but we'll just check out the levels. You can see Keep the Light, Shadow Demon, and Fogged really just having a miserable time in this game. As we're going to see a pause coming in. And goal graph, experience graph. Pretty much in favor of EG, have taken down 2 towers very, very quickly. Not really out-farming the side of Dignitas that much, but still. Meanwhile, Dagger has been picked up by Demon already. They might just go for an engagement on AUI. Blink in Gush, AA Ice Blast. Morphing doesn't really help because AA just says a lot of that. You know, Tide's trying to clear out an ancient stack. If he finishes this, he will pick up the Shadow Blade. Although it might just be better for him to pick up a Relic and try to split push as much as possible. And I think he is going to go for the... No, he saw the movement of Jo coming in. Nicely placed ward by the side of Dignitas, placing a ward to protect their ancient camp, but as it is, Jo will stop Tides of Time from farming for a bit. And actually, they're going to place a ward, preventing any more stacks to the ancient camp. So EG using all the mechanisms in place to stop the carries on the side of Dignitas from getting any farm whatsoever. And Shadow Demon maxing the Shadow Poison, and they need it for the anti-push very, very soon. As he's got 2 points of disruption. Interesting. 3-second cooldown decrease, not really the best. But I guess, do you get bigger range when you... No, you don't get bigger range. So not really too sure why I went for the 2nd point disruption as opposed to a 3rd point to Shadow Poison. But EG just continue to stalk their prey. And really, I don't know what Dignitas can do. They just have to just... I mean, they're sort of forced to play greedy because they picked up 3 carries. And EG just not going to let them farm, just choking off the map control. Way 2 is in a lot of trouble. Tides it, or AUI is in place to help slow down the assault. But here comes Jo as Way 2, oh, going to get reality drifted. Oh no, he got the hit off, but keep in mind reality Drift does not cancel TPs. If it did do that, Casno would probably be one of the most overpowered heroes in the game. As he did get the hit off from the reality Drift, so I don't know. He probably had enough time to cast a stun, so it might have been a bit of a mistake by Jo. But as it is, EG going to push down this tower with help with Vlad's, and Quelling Blade being picked up very late by Fear. But Quelling Blade just accelerates Lycanthrope's farm by so much. He's still pretty much the fastest jungler in the game once he gets the levels going. Well, I guess anti-mage, if he gets the items going, could contest that, but still. At this stage in the game, 14 minutes, Lycanthrope, definitely the fastest farmer in the game in terms of jungle. As Fogged says exclamation point. Oh, I guess Milk denied the rune. Nicely played by Milk. As Fear gonna siege down that panda bear. Animal cruelty at its best, as here comes Reality onto AUI. Ice Blast is in place, gonna kill AUI so very easily, as Ice Blast, such a strong spell. As that single-handedly makes AA viable in my opinion, but then again, I'm not very good. And EG take down 2 towers without using a Ravage, and that means they can probably transition and take down a 4th. Check out experience graph. in favor of the Radiant, even though EG usually playing as 5 for the most part. Actually, they're going to switch the Roshan. Maybe they really fear the anti-push by Acid and the Shadow Poison and the Keep of the Light. But as it is, Tides won't be able to participate in Roshan engagement. Actually, very low in terms of mana. Does have the Shadow Blade up, so can Shadow Blade Unstable Concoction if it's truly necessary. But EG should take this Roshan relatively easily. And will do so. As Chaos Knight picks up Aegis, interesting. I guess they think that Chaos Knight doesn't really have as easy of a time escaping as compared to Lycanthrope. But Ice Blast going to fly in yet again. We'll just barely whiff on Fog, but not to scare away the opposition. And another hero with Keep of the Light, or with Tide, can sort of deal with Keep of the Light because he can blast him, and then just one more bit of damage will kill off Keep of the Light. With Ice Blast Swift, and that means Universe can channel his Illuminate without too much fear. No, he's not level 7, so it doesn't have that max range going, so EG should be able to take down this tower. You can see Demon. Again, cool thing about Tide is you can just wrap around saying, come kill me, I dare you, I have Kraken Shell, I have a lot of HP. What are you going to do about it? I will be able to get my Ravage off, as this is going to be another tower kill. But now we're starting to see the waves fly in, and this might be a problem for EG. They're going to pop the Mecha, but I guess they're just going to back off. They have a Command Aura Creep giving them a lot of extra damage. And yeah, they are just going to back off. Shadow Poison, Acid, Keep of the Light, just too annoying to deal with at this stage in the game. Meanwhile, AOI just forced to do a bit of farm here and there and just teleport back to base. Really no other options. Picks up a Tranquil Boots at 16 minutes. This is probably AOI's worst nightmare. As Fog trying to clear out the stack, there is still a ward in place, although, oh, it's going to actually time out. Oh, the stack is going to spawn. That's unfortunate for EG. But still, I don't know how much of a difference it can make. I don't know if Fog can actually clear out the camp by himself. Actually, he's level 8 with an Ogre Club. Might be able to do so. But, meanwhile, the Radiant is going to push in this tier 2. And really, I don't know. It's just... It's looking bad for Dignitas, guys. Let me put it like that. Gold, experience, hugely in favor. Net worth... Wow, 4 heroes on EG higher than the next highest on Dignitas. And actually Chen full 500 gold advantage compared to Alchemist. This is pretty bad. And yeah, I guess maybe Tides of Time should try to farm a bit more, but still, you want to give AOI, you want to give Fog as much farm as possible. But Tide's just going to try to clear out agent stacks here and there. Going to use the Acid Spray. I thought it doesn't stack through Acid Spray, although I might be mistaken. No, I guess it does stack, even under the effects of Acid Spray. You know, AOI gonna be scouted yet again. At least he managed to hit level 12 as the bear forced retreat, as well with the phase boots. AOI gonna be forced to go for the Maelstrom build. Won't pick up a Radiance anytime soon. And again, Radiance wouldn't even be that good in this game because there's no Blink Dagger carriers on the side of the Radiant. Meanwhile, Fogged with the Alchemist should be able to clear out this camp, finally. As you can see, Flathand putting in some work. And actually, Tides of Time forced to retreat. Trying to do whatever damage he can. Trying to help out Fogged. Although, I think it would just be better for Alchemist to receive the farm at this point. Although it is scary because Alchemist is melee. He'll get stunned by Cold Feet, stunned by Ravage, stunned by Chaos Bolt. I guess it's a better idea to give Fog the farm. Because he's ranged, he has a bit more maneuverability in team fights. Doesn't have to be up close and personal to use all of his damage. But it looks like they split up the farm relatively evenly. And Gyrocopter forced to go for the BKB, but Chaos Knight and Lycanthrope... Well, Chaos Knight cares about BKB, but Lycanthrope really doesn't. Meanwhile, Way 2 just trying to take whatever experience he can get. Knows that his carries can't really farm this area, might as well take whatever farm he can get. As he's forced to teleport back out of mana. And EG just playing this super cautiously at the moment. Aegis will time out relatively soon. Yeah, it's going to time out in about a minute and a half. So are EG going to try to push in while the Aegis still is up? They're going to have to push in very, very soon. As chilling, or the Ice Vortex trying to scout out the high ground. But EG, they might just very well lose the Aegis as Demon is going to roam to the top lane, trying to work on the pipe. I guess this is what they're waiting for. They really need the pipe to push in against Keeper Shadow Demon and Acid Spray. As yep, Acid Spray is mixed damage, so Pipe won't really help all that much, but still reducing some of the magical damage of Acid Spray, and more importantly, reducing Illuminate. Keep in mind, keep it light. Finally, now level 7 with the max level Shadow Poison. It's just ridiculously difficult to push against it because they can be spammed quite frequently over an immense amount of range. You know, Fear picked up the Necro through 20 minutes in the game. This is the power of Wolf when he gets his farm going. You can see he has the highest net worth in the game, despite being essentially sacrificed on that bottom lane for the first 20 minutes. Or, not the first 20 minutes, it's already been 20 minutes. For the first, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. That might be a bit more safe. Shadow Demon's going to die, no buyback. They're going to have to rely on Keyword Light to cast the Illuminate, as will Pipe be used? They are going to use the Pipe. Keep in mind the Wolves have 50% magic damage reduction. But Acid Spray is going to come in place. Necro 3 is going to be popped. And now, here comes the push. Finally, Aegis, I think, does time out. Actually, it's still up on Jail. Illuminate's going to fly in. And keep in mind, Dignitas cannot come because there is a Blink Dagger up on on the Tidehunter as the Bear trying to do whatever it can. But unfortunately, not able to do enough. Dignitas ties the time, channeling his stun. Can he get a stun off onto anybody? Does get off onto Fear, as there's going to be a gush. Nice Ravage by Demon. Was the dagger cancelled? Oh my god. I guess it was. I don't know. What a play. Demon. Demon Dota. Best Dota. But EG, despite that massive fail, did take the middle barracks at the cost of a Ravage, but still very much worth it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now we take a look at the Golden experience. 15k gold advantage, 9k experience advantage. Really difficult for Dignitas to come back. Like, their heroes just need way too much farm. I don't see them coming back from this. Bear is essentially a punching bag at this point. Alk, only Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade's cool, but it doesn't actually do much damage. Gyrocopter, getting close to the BKB, but still 1k away. And I think Ravage will cool down before he can finish that BKB. It should cool down. As we'll see if we'll see another game-breaking Ravage from Demon yet again. Meanwhile, oh man. I mean, there's a Shiva Ravage, there's a Bulba Ravage, and then there's that Ravage. As, I don't know, maybe it was cancelled, maybe there's an Acid Spray in place. Not too sure. But still. That was spectacular. Not in the good way, but still spectacular. As you can see, Malk go for the Aghanims. If he manages to finish an Aghanims by the 30-minute mark, then, you know, this game is pretty much over. But yeah, Travel is finished by Fear just to split push even more. Trying to keep Dignitas hold up in the base and also give him that increased move speed. Really, really relevant on Lycanthrope. Doesn't always have to rely on his ultimate to do a lot of damage. Now, even if his ultimate's down, can chase quite well. As the Wolf continues his farming spree, beat his Ward's Treads earned pretty respectable farm on a 23 minutes in the game. He has 20 creeps. I'd say that's decent farm. His AOI gonna hide in the shadows as if his life depends on it, because it does. It does. As AOI can teleport out, but still. Where's the bear? Where are you, bear? You are healing at the base. I'm not too sure what AOI is doing. I guess he's gonna resummon it and try to clear the jungle. But the jungle is already being cleared by EG. So really he's just not doing anything. Oh, he's trying to farm this creep wave. Nice starting by AUI. Oh, he's trying to backdoor this tower. Keep in mind, tier 1 towers do not get regen, but he's going to be forced to retreat. Anyways, sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back, and we're going to see EG push in, despite AUI's best attempts to backdoor it. Still backdooring tier 1. I mean, it's a tier 1. Nobody cares. And Fog trying to finish his BKB will have it up, but the question is how much it will actually do. Armlet finished up on the Chaos Knight. You can pick up a Reaver if he really wants to. Demon with the pipe and the dagger finished. Beat is with pretty strong support items. Milk almost with the Aga. As here comes the push, add spray, eliminate RDB spam, but the pipe has been used as BKB is finished by the gyrocopter, but here comes the push. Do the Dire have glyph? They do not. As this tower, I think this Rax will die before even gyrocopter can get in position to use this BKB. Hand of God is going to be used to heal the creeps, as well as the demon and Jo, as Jo actually took a decent amount of damage. Here comes the initiation onto Tides of Time, and EG not going to commit whatsoever. They're just going to clean the barracks. We'll just hit stuff. It doesn't have to be people. We'll just completely obliterate your base. And really, man, Dignitas are just being worked. Demon drafting, best drafting apparently. As this is very difficult to see, being sort of a Dignitas fan, but again, I'm an EG fan. I don't know, too many fans. I think I like too many teams. I like pretty much every team. But this range barrack is going to fall, and then I think they can rotate around. No, Fear just going to teleport back, use the boots to travel, farm up. He has a gem as well, so Alchemist pretty much irrelevant at this stage. There's Dignitas. Demon drafting completely outpicked the best minds of Dignitas in this game. As this is just a massacre. The gold experience graph, it's pretty high. Pretty high. Meanwhile, Aga finished on Shen. Aga's going to be finished on Shen before the 30-minute mark. Keep in mind Shen will have the mana pool, but still, 30-second cooldown. Pretty good.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Actually, he does have the mana pool, which is pretty surprising, as the top tower finally dies. Maelstrom's finished on the bear. I guess there's a shot if the bear entangles literally every single creep. If they get, I don't know. They have to entangle every single creep. As Roshan's going to be finished up, Jo is going to pick up the Aegis, has the Reaver in his bag. But still, even if they get entangled on every hit, it's not really going to do all that much. This is not how Dignitas was anticipating this game. As Alchemist finishes in Maelstrom as well. Lightning bolts abound. But still, there is a pipe in the picture, so yeah. Range barrack's gonna be cleaned up. Probably shouldn't fight this. Should probably just fight this on the bottom lane. As they're trying to siege out the bear for a bit, and EG says, alright, we're bored of killing your bear for a bit. We're just gonna rotate around and finish your bottom barracks as the pause does come in. Sorry is the call. Net worth. Shen, almost the same net worth as an alchemist. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon going back to the traditional Shadow Demon role. Everybody else has at least double his net worth. As I'm just gonna fast forward this game. Like, not really too much to analyze. As the rocket taking forever, it's gonna be immediately killed off. Demon, will you get your Ravage off? That is the real question in this game. As, you know, never say never, but in this game, it's 12-1, 18 minutes in, Aga Scepter finished on the Chen. I think I might just have to call it never, as usually there's a lot of mechanisms teams come back, but Dignitas just went a bit too greedy. And here comes the Howl, gonna buff up everybody. And the Tides of Time, gonna cast a stun onto Demon. Here comes the Wolf form. BKB is gonna use by the Gyrocopter, trying to push away. He's pushing everybody successfully, but EG should just focus on the barracks, gonna pop the heal. Keep in mind, 30-second cooldown to heal. They're just gonna kill off this barracks, gonna go down to AUI as Demon with another beautiful Ravage. At least he managed to hit something. It hit the Spirit Bear. As Demon Ravages. Cool line of Demon, but you gotta work on your Ravages, dude. But GG, well played, and return of Captain America as EG taking a series for the first time in eternity. And they need to ride this momentum because they are going to be playing Team Liquid in the Defense 3 for a chance at money. So, gonna need to ride this momentum and hopefully turn things around. But this is a very nice start. Maybe they should use Demon to draft it a little bit more. As he completely bamboozled the side Dignitas, and where did Dignitas go wrong? Well, first mid lane was completely destroyed. Second, Alchemist is just not a... Like, Alchemist, I don't know if he's a good offensive trying hero. Like, he didn't try to farm that much. And when they tried to teleport in, he really couldn't do anything with the teleport ganks. So, just the picks and the lanes. Maybe if they ran something like a Shadow Demon Gyrocopter mid. But I think A pretty much counters Shadow Demon. But yeah, nice picks by EG as a little bit of an anticlimactic end to this really, really famous or really, really nice series. But as it is, EG going to take this game in a very commanding style, 14-1. Net worth, GPMs, all very, very high. AA has a higher ending GPM than Alchemist. That is, it's too good. This is the image that should be left in your mind. But yeah, thanks for watching, and more games will be cast relatively soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.